All right, is this the end? My name's Greg. You're watching How to Play Paintball. Okay, so if you've been living under a rock and you don't know about how the COVID-19 coronavirus, it's called coronavirus, by the way, because of corona means crown. So if you actually look at, this is the science teacher in me, if you look at the actual virus itself, it's a family of viruses. That's why it has the name corona, because the looks like little spikes come out, kind of look like a crown. So that's where it gets its name from. But with COVID-19 going around, I'm sure you guys already saw maybe on my Instagram or on, there's a multitude of other Instagrams that had this up as well, or Facebook or Twitter, probably even Snapchat, all of those, that the NXL Texas event was canceled. It wasn't even postponed, it was just completely canceled. So is this really that big of a deal? Well, one, usually Texas is muddy, so I'm not opposed to it being canceled. So I can't think of a dry Texas event. Maybe one time in the past, I don't know however many years I've been playing. So I'm not opposed to that part of it being canceled, but it does kind of suck that, since I had not gone to NXL Vegas, so that way I could take care of my wife and my newborn son. He was only 5 weeks old at the time. I was looking forward to being able to get back into the tournaments again with the Kings, and of course then this all happened. So yeah, so my take on it is that this is just kind of a necessary precaution. A lot of people say that, well, because I'm younger or my immune system is strong, I don't have to worry about it. I do recommend that you follow the precautions. Even my wife had to remind me, like, hey, this isn't a necessary thing to go and do this outside. So it's something that I even need a reminder of, but you really have to think about it in the sense that if my wife or I get coronavirus or whatever, we're just going to feel a little bit sick. But now we have a 7-week-old son, and for him, his immune system is not as strong. So you have to think about the people that it could affect later on. So even though you might be okay, it's who you might hurt later on in transmitting that into the public. So if you can avoid going out, please go ahead and do that. I know even as a teacher, like I'm gonna be working from home, doing virtual school essentially. So if any of my students are watching, get ready for that. So you'll see this room. But yeah, so it's not fun. I don't like, staying and not having a tournament to look forward to other than Virginia. And even then, who knows what happens? I'm seeing some reports about the virus maybe having to quarantine longer and all of that. So who knows what happens. The main thing is that in this time, I really want you guys to focus in on staying healthy. And you can still do drills at home. You can still do stuff. I know I put up a video a couple days ago, as of filming this, a couple days ago, so it was last week, on some at-home workouts that you can do. So hit up Patty Gleason on Instagram. He has a all body weight workout. So I've been doing that. It's been great. It's been something that I can still go and still stay sharp without having to go to the field and maybe bring something home. If you are going to go to the field, I recommend that you try to go when there's the least amount of people possible, which I know sounds weird, but the other day I went during the week and did drills just by myself. I still kept a distance from the owner of the field. He was completely understanding of that. So if you are going to do that, please just take the necessary precautions. Make sure that you're washing your hands a lot. If you do touch any surfaces or whatever, just be mindful of that kind of stuff. Just so that once the scientists figure out exactly what is it that they can do to combat this, maybe it does end up being a regular thing. So it'll be good when we have a vaccine that we can administer, but I know that that's not going to be for, I think I've heard like a year. That's just because there's a lot of testing that gets involved in that. So as for, again, what you can be doing, you still can be doing workouts at home. If you have, a grassy area in the backyard, you can still do running and gunning drills. You're just not going to be able to use paint. You can still go out though and do sliding drills, practice that. You can still go out and just try to practice when you run and gun, keeping your barrel as flat as possible, because if you do this bounce It's a small difference when you're running, but as you get further down the field, the paint's going to spread out a lot more. So if you can keep that real tight, then it's just going to help you be more accurate. So you could even do that, just trying to run and gun, dry firing. So even if you wanted to, like MacDev sells a silencer essentially. So when you shoot, just kind of clicks basically, but you can still get that feel of the shot and actually have the gun cycle. So there is that's an option. So I know on their website, I want to say it's like $20 or $30, but I could be wrong. So they sell that on there, so that way you could at least still get the shooting and practice even coming up, because you want it to be that you can get ramping as fast as possible. That's a drill that I've been doing for a little while now. Charlie, who owns the ML Kings, was like, yeah, this is a really good drill to do, just because if you can pull up and those first 3 balls are good, but you don't have that stream going and that guy delayed just a little bit, he's still going to be able to get through that lane. So you don't want that to happen. You want it to be that you have the highest chance possible. So when you pull up, you want to be able to get ramping right away. So there is that. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Basically, be safe. There's no reason to go and put yourself in a situation that you're going to be hurting yourself. I know I see some of these videos of people still going on spring break and being in these large crowds of people. That's really not the smartest thing to do. So please guys, be safe. If there is a video that you would like to see though, put it down in the comments down below. I know I mentioned that my Patreon members, I look at those first to see the video ideas. But after that, I'm completely fine looking in through the other comments and seeing all of those other ones there. So if there is something that you're like, hey, I would like a drill that I can do in the backyard, or a drill that I can do in the house even, I can think of different things. There's actually some I'm thinking of right now. So put that down in the comments down below. Maybe it's a running, gunning, or snapping, or just running in general, or sliding, anything like that. Just like I said, put it down in the comments down below. And yeah, so ultimately guys, I just want to say be safe, be smart, think about not just your health, but the health of the elderly and those that are immunocompromised, and even very small children. Now I know I don't think there have been any cases with babies, or actually I take that back, I think there were a couple cases that there were small children, but they were able to pull through. But you just got to think about, like my son hasn't gotten his shots yet. So you don't want that to be a chance that you end up hurting someone else because you wanted to go to a bar or something like that. Like just be smart about it. Don't worry, the channel's not going anywhere. Paintball's going to be just fine. Once we are able to get back into playing, please support your local field and your local businesses. A&S Gear, as great as they are, they're going to do just fine. It's the smaller stores, or even the smaller online stores, that are going to be hurting a lot more, just because there's less sales because there's less people playing. So I know even in California, I don't think there's anyone playing. I think even SE Village and all that have closed down for the time being. So make sure that you go and support those businesses. I even went and bought a case of paint when I did those drills by myself again. Remember, I was by myself, and I have more than enough paint over here. But it's something that I'm able to go and help that field out. And because who knows, maybe this next weekend Florida says, okay, no sporting events whatsoever, or anything like that. I know the owner of Markham Paintball. I know the owners of Central Florida Paintball. If you can go and support those smaller businesses, those smaller fields, just the mom and pop, quote unquote, establishments, that's going to be a really huge help to them. So just try to do as much as you can for those. If you can even, like my wife and I are going to be ordering food. We have enough food in the fridge, but if we can support another business, a lot of these franchises, even just a simple like Subway, like those are franchises. Those are families that are depending on that kind of stuff. So just think local when you can, but paintball specific, support those local fields and those local businesses. So like I said, I'm not going anywhere. The channel isn't going anywhere. You don't have to worry about that. But if you do want any ideas or help or with whatever, just put those in the comments down below. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please go ahead and do that. And sorry for this being more of a rant and kind of just a ramble, but I wanted to make sure I had something out there for you guys. So I guess I'll see you in the next video, but as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.